Right, so I have a slight issue here. I'm getting rid of all my cameras. I've sold 2 of them, and I will sell this as well in favor for a brand new camera that I'm going to buy. It's not been released yet. It will be released very shortly, but I'm replacing all of my regular cameras with that new camera. And this is going as well very soon. So my problem is that I'm using this camera together with this thing. It's a teleprompter, and this attaches with the ring just like this, and it works really well. Now the problem is that I can't use this any longer because I don't have any regular cameras with a threaded lens. So I'm in a bit of a pickle here. So maybe I sold too many cameras too quickly here. So I'm thinking about buying a cheap camera just to have for talking headshots. And I will sell this. This is too expensive to keep for only that. This is brand new. But used cameras are kind of expensive. I was thinking about the Lumix GH4, but that's like 300 euros plus a lens and I don't know, batteries, maybe memory cards. That would end up like 400 or 500 euros, and that's a little bit too much only for talking headshots. I don't need any fancy things for talking head. So I'm thinking, can't I just use an action camera for this? And maybe you can. It's a good enough image from it, but the problem is this, of course. So I'm going to do some modifications to get that to fit to here. And then I also want to see what I can do with the sound. If it's possible to connect the Rode Wireless Go 2 that I'm using right now into this, and possibly this can work. Let's see. First of all, this is a wide angle lens. I'm going to switch that to the normal lens. So this is the normal lens, the standard lens. I think that's wide enough actually, so that's why I want to use that. Next thing is to use something to connect that to this thing. And I'm going to use this. This is a mobile phone attachment for this thing. And then you need a foam ring here. I think this one will do. And my first thought was to have something like this and then stick it in here somewhere. And I don't know if that works. I have a cage for this camera, but I don't think this does anything really useful. I was hoping there would be some threaded holes so I can attach something to this, but it's simply just a cage for protection, so it's kind of useless for me. So I'm going to ditch this one and I'm going to try something else. So I have this plate from another project and I'm going to attach that to this teleprompter. And I already drilled a hole here for another project, so I'm going to use that one. And maybe I can use that as sort of a base. I'm using a very small ball head here because it's got a longer thread, so I can get it threaded in properly. There we go. And then I'm thinking I could use an Arca Swiss plate to put this on a tripod later on. So I'll put that in here right now. Okay, that will do for now. And now I have something that looks like this. And I'm thinking maybe I can put the camera here and then maybe it can rest, or I can attach this in some way to this plate. And that would make a sort of a stable connection here. I got this from an old bicycle mount, so that might work. It's like an extension rod or something. And then I will attach one of these that has got threaded insert in there, so I can attach that to this plate. Yeah, starting to look like a hack. I want this to be useful and I don't want it to fall apart all the time. So yeah, let's have a go, see what it looks like. So I was thinking this should sit like this, and I screwed this thing into the plate here in some way. So I need to drill a little bit larger hole to fit the screw that works with this one. Right, so I've widened a few holes here and now I'm going to put everything together. So I'm using this thing and it fits, and I start by attaching this base, sort of. I think I need a few washers. Yeah, maybe one more washer, but it sits for testing purposes. Then I'll attach everything else. Alright, as you can see, it's kind of stuck to the side here, but I've got some wiggle room. I can put this a little bit to the side as well, so everything is pointing like in that direction a little bit. But it sort of sits, and it's important to not have any light leaks in here, and I think it works. Yeah, think so. Let's try this out, and let's also try out the audio. See if I can connect this thing to that thing. Okay, so this is currently my setup now. I don't want this to be a hack. What do you think? Is it a hack? And it sits here, but it's kind of wobbly. If you look underneath, there's a very small little ball head here. Maybe I should replace that with something else. And it doesn't sit on a very stable tripod either. I could fix this wobble. On the other hand, everything is standing still as it is. I mean, we're not moving anything. So that's good. If we look at the image, you can see that it's, try to come a little bit closer here. You can see that the lens is super wide, so I get everything inside of the teleprompter in the image. And even the tray here, this is the tray where the phone sits. So, yeah, and I should mention that the reason why I don't use a phone in this phone holder is because I use the phone as a teleprompter. So that's where the text is coming. So this is what it looks like from the inside. There is a little bit of light leaking from the sides there, but I don't have any issues with that. It doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, and I'm also using this big softbox with a 60 watt cold bore light. It's just a 60 watt daylight light. I think I will run this on 100% to be honest, because I don't know about the low light capabilities of the DJI Osmo Action 4, which I'm using. I don't know if there's a night mode on this either. Maybe it is. I don't know. But let's try this out first. And I will also connect my Rode Wireless Go to see if that works. So this is looking quite neat actually. There's a cold shoe up here, which I can use to attach the receiver, I think it's called. And then it's just a USB-C to USB-C into my action camera. And as you see there in the display, it actually works. And let's give this a try to see what it looks like. Okay, might be a little bit tight there, a bit of a squeeze. Okay, what do you think? What does it look like? Does it work? I think you need to crop into the image a little bit, or a lot actually, because it's so wide, this lens. I think this is a 5K camera, so you can crop in a little bit. It's not 4K in the end, but who cares? This is only talking headshot, and I'm pretty happy with 1080p to be honest. But it looks okay. I can see the text clearly, and from this angle it looks good. Now I'm going to load this footage into my computer and have my final thoughts about this contraption. So I've reviewed the footage and here are my final thoughts. I'm very positive about the end result, and there are actually a few benefits with using an action camera. One being that the camera can be very close to me, which is great since I'm in a tight space. It also makes it easier to read from the teleprompter as everything is closer to me. That might introduce other problems, however. You could possibly see my eyes moving when I'm reading from the teleprompter. And of course, you will not get any blurry background with this camera. Not that I need that though. And it might be tricky to get some motion blur going as well. I think I need to experiment with the exposure a little bit. I was very happy that the audio worked. It's literally just plug and play. And to make it even easier, I could get the wireless DJI microphone, which can be connected to the camera directly without any receiver. To me, audio is the most important thing for talking head videos, so this is a huge plus for this type of solution. I will fix the wobble, I just need a few small parts for that. I will also try to use the mobile phone mount in some way. Perhaps I can fix a frame or something which I can attach the camera to. That would eliminate the need for having that metal plate. All in all, I will not buy any regular camera for talking headshots. This is absolutely sufficient for my type of videos, and it's also so easy to operate action cameras compared to something else.